Happy Friday. Let me clear my throat. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live. We are at a special time today. So I hope you that normally cannot join at 4 p.m. Eastern are happy to join us at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight. I am still trying to work out like the camera, the angle, the height of the microphone, like how high to have it, how low to have it. We're still figuring out all of that. So just let me know what you think in comments. Somebody has been asking me, or somebody asked me yesterday, sorry, how to hit the thumbs up button. And they sent me a picture of their YouTube and they did not have a thumbs up button. So I think I'm being told the thumbs up, which is the like button on YouTube, is only available before you hit the comment button. So if you will go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, it really helps me. I am, as y'all know, I'm in the middle of taking this podcast course that my friend Sarah Fraser started. So if you're interested in starting a podcast, if you have one, all the things, go check out the Sarah Fraser show. Go Big Podcasting is her website. And I was talking to y'all yesterday, so I'm just trying to incorporate some of the things that she suggests. So I was talking about like the engagement and how, I do love doing this, but it is a lot of hard work and energy. So if you could help me out with all the things that just take 2 seconds, I would really appreciate it. So if you watch on YouTube as a replay or live, if you will hit the thumbs up, if you will comment along, all of that engagement helps. If you are listening as a podcast, if you will go scroll down and hit, make sure you're following the show as a podcast, because then it will give you push notifications for when I upload the next podcast. But also, if you'll scroll down and hit the 5-star rating and review, I would really appreciate it. So let me know. Raise up your chair today. I look beheaded. I look beheaded. Hold on. Okay. I can go pretty high. That's as high as I can go. I don't like the comfort of it. My feet are like dangling like I'm a 12-year-old little girl. Okay. Do y'all like the height of that? Does that look okay with the camera angle? Give me a thumbs up. So, Lisa, I wonder if the comments go away. I bet the comments go away once they start live. I'm not really sure. Much better. Okay. Everyone says it. So I will stay this way with my feet. If y'all could only see my feet dangling, like literally. Anyways, okay, this is better. Give me all the tips, because you know what? I think when you see yourself, you don't see yourself the way other people do. So let me know if the eye level is good, if the camera angle is good, if you like seeing the podcast microphone, not seeing the podcast microphone, all those things. So, anyways, I hope you're having a great day. The reason I'm late is because my friend and I went and saw And Juliet. I didn't even know this was a musical. It is amazing. My friend had said a couple of weeks ago, hey, And Juliet is coming to Houston. Let's go see it. I'm like, sure. Had no idea what it was about. It was so good. I even teared up at the very end. I really did. It is such a girl power musical. Like, it's so good. Whoever wrote it, if anyone has any connections to the show, I would love to have them on my podcast. Whoever wrote it is a huge Justin Timberlake boy band, Britney Spears. Who else did they sing? Katy Perry. I mean, they apparently, so obviously it's kind of about Romeo and Juliet, but I won't spoil it because it's so good to see. Like I said, the reason we had to go today is because we had opening night tickets for Tuesday in Houston, and we had the snow Tuesday, we had the snow Wednesday, so they delayed our tickets till Friday at 1. And I was like, who's going to go Friday at 1? Y'all, when I tell you the Hobby Center in Houston, Texas was filled to the brim with And Juliet, it was filled to the brim. Like, people took the day off, people made it happen just like we did. So And Juliet is a pretty new show. It has to be, because all the songs that are in it, and they sing, 20 songs maybe. a ton of songs. It's so weird to sit this high. Are you sure this looks really good? Because I am sitting so high and now I feel like I'm really far from the microphone. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Okay. So I won't ruin it, but it's a plot line as if the things didn't happen the way they did with Romeo and Juliet. So anyways, and when I took my daughter to Italy a couple of years ago, we saw in Verona where Romeo and Juliet, I guess, historically happened, like the balcony. So yeah, I don't like being this high. I can't deal with this even for the rest of the show. So I'm gonna zoop my chair. Whoop. Okay, even that is better. My feet are at least touching the ground. I was so weirded out by having my feet dangling like a 12-year-old. Okay, so highly recommend Anne Juliet if you can get to it. This was a Broadway across America, so that means I guess it's touring, so they're probably going to other cities. So, oh, Babu says saw it 2 years ago in the West End, really good. So, I mean, okay, I shouldn't say they're brand new songs, but a couple of them are very new songs in it. So I kind of wonder if they update whatever it is. I cannot tell you how accurately placed these pop songs are. Like, it's so good. Deja Monet says the angle and the lighting looks different. I can adjust my lighting a little bit. Does that lighting look better? It's the same camera. It's just that I used to have the laptop up a little bit and now I don't. I wonder if y'all like it with the laptop up a little bit again. Okay, you know what? Here we go. We're going to fix it. I know. Nothing like fixing things. You know what I use? 2 of my kids' high school yearbooks to put this up. Okay, so you're about to come up and open over with me. So you're about to be raised up a little bit. I was fixing it from yesterday and I had kind of forgot that I did this. So now you're going to see how dirty this is. Okay. Let's see. What's even up there? Okay, it's just stuff. I was like, what is even up in my closet? Who knows? My daughter's closet, I should say. Okay, that's better because it's okay. Please tell me that's good because I don't think I want to move it anymore. And I don't know that I want to move. I guess I will keep this microphone this high because I think it's weird not to see the microphone. It looks like I'm like talking into a bug or something. I don't know. Does that look okay? Okay, let me know. Oh, yes. So Mayboo, it's like 1 a.m. there in London. Mayboo says, I'm a night owl and I love doing my chores at night. I'm left alone because all the family's in bed. Oh, man. There's something about a late night having the thing ever to yourself. Yeah, I'm going to take that banner off, but I'll add it to the thing to do that. Thank y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, because the thumbs up button, because it is not there after you hit the comment button. Okay, what else is going on? Got my car fixed. If you follow me on Instagram at Sarah from Texas Podcast, I went to leave Body Pump last night and all of a sudden my Suburban, all the lights usually turn on and the gauges go. Nothing went. It started like normal. It was cold, so it was giving me a tire error. Then I looked, it was giving me every system error known to man. Like everything electronic was going on with my car. And I'm like, what is going on? So I called Brian. I was like, look, I am driving home. I said, but everything on my car looks like nothing is going on. He's like, what? So I took a video and he met me outside whenever I got home, looked at it. Then he YouTubed it. I brought it to the dealer or our mechanic, around 7:30 when they opened this morning. My girlfriend picked me up and it was $145 fee. And I think all they did was like check a YouTube and fix something. I don't even know. It's a fuse or something. It's something that Chevrolet knows is going on with the Suburbans. And I guess if it happens again, I think they're going to fix it. I'm not really sure. But my car is 100,046 miles. So of course it just hit 100,000 miles and starts going to crap, right? So I guess that's what happened. what happens. Get comfortable in comments. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I realize that this is not our normal time, maybe 3 books. No, I just can't stop. This is not our normal time. We usually are at 4 p.m. Eastern, but I did have to adjust it today. So, if you're new, get comfortable in comments. We love to hear where you're from. We want to know what you think. We want to know your questions. I did put a link up at the very beginning, and the link that's the scroll. If you copy and paste that, that is a way for you to come up on video with me and ask a question or give us a comment. So Blake and Justin, the nonsense continues, and Bethenny Frankel's getting in the middle of it. Basically, it's not a divorce, so it ends with us. Great movie, such a good movie. My kids said it was a good book. You know, I don't read, but I don't read anymore. But it's a good movie. Lots of chemistry on set, on scene. Blake Lively is a huge actor. She's one of the leads. Justin is the other lead with her. He is the director of the movie. She's an executive producer. And they're suing each other and blasting each other, all this nonsense. And Bethenny's basically like, look, y'all need to get a mediator, like whoever is controlling each of your camps, y'all need to get it together and agree and figure out what do you want, and let's fix it and mediate this, because y'all are just going to lose. Y'all are slinging mud. Y'all are going to spend all your money on attorneys, and this is not going to end well for anyone. Now, her courtroom experience is with a divorce and custody with her ex, Jason Hoppy. But that went on for like 10 years. So a court and disagreement and attorney fees and blasting each other is all the same, right? So at the end of the day, she's basically saying, y'all need to get your shit together. We know that Blake is accusing him of SA, which I can't say what that is, but I'm sure y'all can all figure it out. So that leads into something else. But I also wonder, if she's saying that, why wouldn't the police be involved? Like, I don't really know that part of it, right? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, she basically said, cut bait is what she said. Drop it. Okay, as you know, I am on Wegovy. I started it about a week and a half ago. I took it on Monday at first, then I delayed it this time to Wednesday night. I think I'm going to stick with Wednesday night because I think as the week goes on, your hunger curbing tends to die out a little bit, but I haven't really noticed that too dramatically. But anyways, if I take it on Wednesdays, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday-ish should be my strongest appetite curbing days. So that makes sense as far as like going out to dinner, things like that, the weekends, all of that. But anyways, I can't even tell you how this is personally helping me. I feel better about myself, and it has nothing to do if I've lost a pound or two or yet or not. I feel more in control of my life, of my eating, not focusing on the eating, not obsessing over the eating, not obsessing over the not eating. Did I eat healthy? Did I not? The beating myself up. I'm really, it sounds so cliche, but I'm now, in just a week and a half, I promise you, I am eating to live instead of living to eat. And like Oprah says on her special that I've shared with y'all, if you don't understand and if you don't obsess over food, maybe you obsess over nicotine, or maybe you obsess over alcohol, or maybe you white knuckle not going shopping, whatever you have an obsession with, or something that is kind of on your mind or out of your control more than you wish. That's what this drug is doing for me for food. So it is really helping a lot. I can't even tell you, I'm not saying that everyone needs to be on it, but like Oprah says, if you need the help, then the second you take the medicine and you notice the food noise go away and the control over your eating, then you know you really had a problem and your GLPs naturally in your body were not doing what they needed to do. And that is not the case for everybody. So you will notice a difference if it does help you in that aspect. Yes, I shared with y'all. So Nick, and this is wonderful, right? they are doing more and more research that this is not only for weight control, this is just for other issues too. OCD. Nick James says, my doctor says that she used it to help people stop smoking. I met a friend last week that said, I was on one of these weight loss drugs and I quit smoking after 40 years because it didn't feel good. It didn't taste good to her anymore. So that's a huge bonus. It's helping people stop drinking as much. OCD. I've just seen a lot of things with it. So anyways, I did do a podcast on it last week. So check that out. It's available under my live with Susan Olson. She was such a wealth of information, really. And it's on the podcast too at Sarah from Texas. So anyways, okay, that's it. Let's get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, reunion part 1, season 5. Then we'll get into Jeff Lewis live from today. We will always leave time for questions and answers at the very end of things. So if you want to come on, you can do that. Yes, it really is. Mayboo says it sounds like it's also good for your mental health as well. It just feels like the job and the time spent thinking about food is gone. And now I can just focus on everything else I enjoy, doing the laundry, I mean, I've always worked out. Y'all know that. I've always had my highs and lows with eating really healthy, not eating really healthy. I kind of share it all with y'all. When I eat dessert, at a restaurant, I take a picture. I mean, I really do eat the whole thing. I wasn't the person that's like, oh, let me just try a bite. I don't do a bite of anything. I eat the whole darn dessert and I love every bit of it. But now it just feels different. I feel like that's not what I need. And my body is actually wanting the things that I need, which is protein. So it's crazy. I didn't watch the podcast, but I watched the 1-hour special that I've promoted to y'all a lot. And it's so good. Jen Helen says, did you listen to the Oprah podcast on GLP-1? It's so good. Answers a lot of questions. No, but I watched her special, which is called like the shame game, the weight loss game or something like that. Shame, blame, and the weight loss game or something. It's so good. So look that up. Okay, there is a lot of controversy over my thoughts on Real Housewives of New York City. I really haven't changed my mind. I really hope that I've explained it well. That, trust me, I was never the biggest Bryn fan. I don't agree with everything she says or does. My thoughts are, and like I explained on yesterday's live podcast with everyone, I don't understand why Uba is just given a pass for saying something as atrocious as she did, accusing Bryn of sleeping around to get a job. So if the whole thing is about Bryn lying, then I get that, but a lot of housewives lie, and we're going to talk about a big one today, Bronwyn, and why I think she should absolutely be fired. And I'm not even kidding. And based on lying. So if we're going to go about lying housewives, a few have been in jail. That entails lying and criminal behavior. A few have admitted to lying. I mean, there's so many things that we have forgiven these housewives for that have just been grotesque behavior. So since we never heard Bryn and Uba's conversation that was very emotional already, so I'm not really sure what either one of them were hearing or saying or remembering, because we know that Bryn originally called Uba because she had had a family member attempt to end their life, and she right before BravoCon, and she was calling Uba to discuss that with her. So when Bryn forgets if she said it or not, I'm like, you probably didn't say it. You know why? Because I'm assuming and hope that Uba would have circled back at some point and said, look, that was a really heavy conversation that you had with me and you really opened up to me, but you also mentioned this SA. And so I want to reach out, see how you're doing and all that. So I don't know, that part never made sense. I don't know that it will. I don't know where this next season of New York is going to be. I'm kind of like, how is Bryn? Is she, just hanging out in her apartment? Is she not going anywhere? Like, it's kind of like Bronwyn. Bronwyn seems to be, we'll talk about it. Bronwyn seems to be like doubling down and like posting on her Instagram. She's in the middle of a swirl of like, is she telling the truth about the necklace that she claims that she bought or Todd bought for her anniversary? But last night she was posting basically saying Lisa is wrong. She shouldn't have mentioned that I might have had a miscarriage when I didn't. She doesn't know the story. I'm trying to find it. Sorry, where she posted. It was really long. Like it was hard to listen to this. Okay, so this is part of what Bronwyn from Salt Lake City said, and then we'll get into the reunion part one. There was no reason for this to be brought up on camera. She's talking about her daughter Gwen's dad and his parents, who they are, their stuff. She was aware of what saying this publicly would do. Since then, my daughter has been surrounded by rumors, including that I was pregnant during her father's marriage. This is blatantly false. My daughter's father got married after my pregnancy. By choosing to speak about this on camera, rumors started that I have kept my child from her grandparents. This is so far from the truth. I've always wanted them to want her in their lives. I definitely want to know your thoughts on that. Finding blah, blah, blah. I never wanted this brought to the show. When it came up off camera, but in front of production, I worked with the show and my family to navigate it as responsibly and privately as possible. My only concern throughout the past 18 years, including this show, is my daughter's well-being. Okay. So Bronwyn is a newbie. I'm not sure how to take her. I'm not sure the over the top, the braggish, the outlandish costumes at the airport to pick up her husband, the dog shit all over her house. Like, I just don't understand it all. Yes. Wait, I was not a fan of Uba's behavior in Puerto Rico, however, Topper says. No, I mean, but anyways. Okay, we've already talked about that yesterday. I'm moving on. Salt Lake City. Yeah. Christina says, let's not forget that Uba suffered female circumcision around 8 years old. Okay. Salt Lake City reunion part 1. They all look like they've lost 15 pounds that they didn't even have to lose. Which, some might say, John Hill, don't talk about women's bodies. Let's be honest. We all notice people's bodies. We all notice when they're extra thin or what have you. And it's no accident. They know exactly what they're doing. But anyways, looked really good though, as far as their dresses and hair and all that. Bronwyn shows up with this huge, it's driving me nuts for this to be so low. I'm trying to figure this out. This is going to drive me nuts. Like, you're right. I feel like my head has just popped up. Okay, maybe that's is that even better? I feel like I'm still tall, but not as tall. Okay. Hey, Annette is here. Happy Friday night. Annette in Miss Lupo in New York. Okay. Whitney is just sounding like she's a public relations statement. Like she's just reading directly from the whatever about her Prism jewelry line. Like, I wouldn't have gotten a tattoo about Prism if I didn't really love it and stand behind it. Like, girl, I don't know why you got a tattoo of your business that could be gone tomorrow, because it's not like you've had this business 30 years and give me a break. So that was nonsense. Okay. The main reunion that I cared about is the Bronwyn $4 million necklace. So a couple of episodes ago, or halfway through or so, she and her husband, Todd, who acts like he absolutely doesn't want to be on the freaking show at all, host them, all the coupled up people, to this place that they rent. And she ever so casually, but absolutely not, brings in this jewelry lady, this company that has brought some very expensive jewelry for her to look at to see if she wants to buy, or Todd wants to buy her for their 10-year wedding anniversary. $4 million necklace. First of all, there's nothing about that doesn't mean you're bragging. I would love to see your financials and see if you have $4 million to buy on a single diamond necklace. I don't think you do. I thought it was super icky to show that on the anniversary weekend. I don't even know why Todd agreed to it. I mean, I thought it was all like the way I can't understand either one of them. The fact that he acts like he doesn't want to be on the show, yet he showed up at the reunion. He's not required to show up at the reunion. As far as I know, and y'all, unless y'all know something different, the husbands aren't even paid to be on the show. It is just, they just show them on the show. That's why, who was it? Who was it they decided on one of the networks, one of the franchises? I felt like they decided not to show the husband because they're like, was it Eddie? Who is it that decided not to show because they weren't paying him anyways? I can't remember. Mayboo says, I'm not envious of the housewives, all the fake. I've got lots of money. My marriage is fantastic. My kids are straight A students. Okay, of course. Rather be real, regardless, loving watching them. Yeah. I don't, at this point, I don't think any of us are envious of them. They all end up getting a divorce, and not just like a sudden divorce. They all end up being like, oh, I've been unhappy forever. The financials come out. I mean, all these things, they get trashed. I'm not real sure that any of us are envious of them, but also it always comes out, like I think might come out eventually of Bronwyn, that they're acting as if they have more money than they do. Like Jen Shaw renting a completely different house this season before she goes on Salt Lake City. Jessel and Pavitt moving from Dallas, Texas to New York City to be on the show, apparently redoing her entire house, leaving the price tags on the plants so she can look like she's all put together and has all this money. You know what I mean? I would assume so. So Nurse M says, do the housewives get extra money when they appear on the reunion? So yes, if a season does 13 episodes or 17 episodes, they get paid more per episode. So if a reunion is 1 episode versus 3 episodes, they get paid more. And I've heard like Teresa talk about that. I've heard them all talk about, I hope, who talks about it a lot is Lala Kent from Vanderpump Rules. She would talk about, I hope we get 2 or 3 seasons. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, make it make sense. Marsha's like $4 million in a necklace, but dog poop in your house. Like, what the hell? The thing is, not the dog poop. It's the dog. Why does my face look red right there? Like, it looks like I was touching I'm going to nitpick myself and the lighting and the, like, literally. I feel like I'm red right there, just like an allergy or blowing my nose or snot all down my face, which is not. The dog poop, when they know she's filming and they're going to walk around the house and the cameras are going to see the dog poop. Like, what? What? I don't even understand that. Okay. So I don't remember what she said at the time, but I thought she definitely, the thing with Bronwyn, she is either lying by omission or just not being very clear. I did not purchase any of the products, any of the diamond jewelry that they brought to me that weekend. She was just bringing that. No, she very much implied that he bought it for her for their anniversary. And I was like, $4 million? It doesn't even make sense. So now she says she got earrings and a smaller version of the necklace. But not only that, she's saying that she had a smaller version of the necklace custom made. Then later, Lisa's like, well, I messaged with the lady, the owner, and she's like, you never bought anything. And the only thing Bronwyn gets upset about is like, why would she share that personal information with you? She never denies she never bought anything. And then it's like coming out, well, we didn't like that she was sharing stuff with you. So then we didn't end up buying anything from them. I'm like, well, did you have a custom necklace, a smaller version made or not? Did you have that made and then Todd decided he didn't like the style of it, so he returned it? Like, I felt like there were so many different stories going on. You know what I mean? Anyways, and then we get a commercial break. Lisa's Kerastase commercial. That commercial, I thought it was a joke, but I promise you, if anyone has extra self-confidence to donate, it is Lisa freaking Barlow. I mean, that lady loves herself so much. this commercial, some of the lighting looked like she didn't even know how to buy a $10 ring light off Amazon. I'm like, oh my gosh, who recorded this commercial for you? Even on the snow slopes, you can have lighting on your face. I mean, the best lighting she had was at the very end of the commercial. That was the only good lighting. I'm literally watching the commercial going, I don't know to laugh or to cry. I don't know to hug you, like send you a message and be like, are you okay, Lisa Barlow? Candace says, my issue is with Lisa, how vile that she just couldn't take a step back and see what she did wrong and apologize. She had to be so much drama. Meredith said this is why Lisa was crying. And then Lisa, was crying. Yes. I know what you're talking about. Yes, because Lisa was crying and Meredith was taking up for her. Kimberly J is like, Barlow does love herself. I cannot, and I loved her so much the first season. Now it's season 5 and I'm like, I mean, I don't know what Kathy Hilton makes. Mayboo says that's Kathy Hilton kind of wealth. I mean, it's only 10 years of marriage. I'm sorry. You don't get a $4 million diamond necklace for that. You're not at that level. We know you're not. You wouldn't be on this show if you know what I mean? Like, stop. It was so weird. Okay. So did she lie, or Emma, the sales lady? So Lisa talks to the jewelry later. She said she's bought it and returned it. Braun was just being super secretive about all of it. She's not really answering it. I also felt like when she was on Watch What Happens Live and also when she goes on Watch What Happens Live, Todd chooses to sit in the audience. So if he's so anti being on TV and he doesn't want any part of this drama and the nonsense of it all, and he's embarrassed by it all, why are you choosing to sit in the audience and watch what happens live? Why are you taking time off of work when you normally are out of town working 5 of the 7 days? You got a marriage with your wife for 2 days a week. Well, I guess this would be spending time together. They would actually go to New York City together, right, for Watch What Happens Live. But I'm saying, if you don't spend much time together, and that's when you're going to spend your time is while she's on a show at Watch What Happens Live, if you don't want anything to do with this show, it's kind of weird, right? Well, but this makes me, so Christina Anderson says the owner should have kept her mouth shut. But doesn't it feel like, because even Bronwyn said, I wanted to bring this jewelry person on and give her like a shout out, some notoriety. So she thought, oh, I'm such a big wig. No, you're not, Bronwyn. I want to bring this jewelry person on and help them. I mean, did she think she was going to get a $4 million necklace for free? Like, what the hell? It definitely seemed like there's some bad blood now between the jewelry person and this Emma and the salesperson and Bronwyn. And now Emma is kind of siding and giving Lisa information because she feels like she's been screwed over by her, right? So, yes, Michael Riley's like, that was a horrible commercial. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. I mean, then the French fry at the end, I'm like, shouldn't this have been a Wendy's commercial? Like, so weird. Super G says she did not buy it and to showcase it on the show. That is so pretentious. I mean, it's one thing. We have seen people get, Cartier bracelets. We've seen Rolex watches. Remember, not Spencer. What's Tamara Judge's first husband's name, or second husband, technically? Simon. We've seen him give jewelry. They all give big jewelry on the show, and we know they do it for the show, whether they return it or not. $4 million necklace, that's beyond a reach. Like, that was like literally just disgusting. Okay. The whole thing, and again, another sensitive topic because it was an out of wedlock pregnancy. Bronwyn was Mormon at the time. She and the guy she was dating, first date. We don't know anything about that. She gets pregnant at 19. He clearly wants nothing to do with her. Then she's very clear that my dad called them. I think this was on Watch What Happens Live. Called them and let them know that I gave birth to him. And then Andy Cohen's like, oh, they talked to them. So they definitely know she was born. They definitely know this was not a miscarriage. She's like, no, well, they left a message. Okay, it's 19 years ago. Wait, how old is she now? 18 or 19? It's 19 years ago, and it's your dad telling you that she called. So you weren't the one. You don't know if they got the message. Like, we don't know what they were told. It's a small community of people. I'm sure word got out that Bronwyn had a baby. Was this a one-night stand? Maybe it was. Clearly, it wasn't anyone that she had a relationship with the parents. I felt like, and I guess I would have to go rewatch, which I won't, for her to put out the statement that I read at the beginning of the podcast saying that, I always wanted my daughter Gwen to have a relationship with her grandparents. I don't feel that's the vibe I got from her of what she was saying. It was very much like me and Gwen against the world. I had nobody, not her grandparents. Then the dad passes away. We don't know how they passed away. It was crazy. Wait, there was a little girl? Wait, Annette says, Miss Lupo, regarding Lisa's commercial, I was obsessed with the little girl in the background at the end. That is kind of weird. I don't know that there was a little girl. I didn't pay attention that there was a little girl. Candace says, Sarah, it's not Lisa's place to even mention it. And it was not Andy asking that. It was Lisa who brought it up. And it shouldn't even make the camera. That's why producers were told not to put it in. But the producers are going to put stuff in if they say it on camera. Like, that's kind of their job. Like, the juicier, the better. They're not going to respect that it was something like that. Like, I don't know. At some point, that makes me feel like they're hiding something. I don't know. I feel like they had talked about it during the show. She's showing her daughter on the show. She has the right to choose not to show her daughter. She couldn't have showed anything about her daughter. She could have just said, I have an 18-year-old daughter, and that's it. She could have just showed her and Todd. She could have just shown herself. I don't really know. Candace says it's really not that small as a community. I know the area well, and no matter the kid's age, it should come from the mom, not from here, and get from Lisa on TV. So should Bronwyn have let the grandparents know that Gwen was a person and here's how to reach out to them? I mean, she makes it very clear. I never got any money. I never asked for child support. I never did anything. I don't even know that his last name is on the birth certificate. I mean, it came out that I guess he had a widow, and she had just found out that her widow had a son or a daughter, so a child. So, which is weird, right? Because they claim to be friends. I mean, Lisa and Bronwyn claimed to be friends. When they brought Bronwyn on, wasn't Lisa the one that was her friend? I know that Brittany was brought on by Heather Gay. I felt like it was Lisa that brought Bronwyn on. And now now Bronwyn's like, well, at the end of the day, I think I thought our friendship was more, it sounds very like Dorit and Kyle. Like, maybe I thought we were better friends than we were, and really not that much. Michael Riley has a hot take. Lisa is mad that everybody loves the new girl. Okay, I guess I don't love the new girl. I didn't love it at all. I don't ever love a situation where you're trying, if you got money, it will come out. We don't need to see you put people on that you don't even know to spend your anniversary weekend with you and put them over on a private jet and then send them back on a commercial air. I mean, I don't love any of that. Didn't like the dog shit on her floor. I don't like her bragging about the clothes that she wears. Just wear it. Like, don't tell us all about it. Just wear it. Lisa James says, Lisa James, Nick James in Puerto Rico says, Lisa needs to go away. She's horrible. She doesn't know when to keep her mouth shut and not repeat things that she shouldn't. She just always likes to be right. So she'll spill whatever just to be right. I would venture to say if there was a human resources job description of a Real Housewives, that would be it. Like, to spill stuff that you're not supposed to spill. If she knows the information, I mean, if we go back to New York, that's why Jessel went and told Uba, hey, by the way, Bryn just told us all that you actually knew that she had been SA'd. And then you still said that. So she stirred up the drama. I mean, that's kind of their job. If they didn't, it would be super boring. As much as this is like everyone that says, oh, I can't believe they're putting a police car chase on the news. They're putting a police car chase live on the news because everyone stops what they're doing and watches it, hence the ratings. And then they throw up a commercial and they know that everyone's going to watch. I mean, so for everyone to act like we don't want drama, we don't want fighting, we don't want a housewife to lie, we don't want them to be deceitful, we don't want them to be like, it's kind of what they do. So I'm just, if the reasoning, I guess I'm fired up about Bryn. If the reasoning is that they're making it seem like, oh, Bryn lied and lied and lied this season, so she needs to be off the show. They're even acting like they kind of went dark on her at the end of the very end of the reunion part 1, the season finale. So that kind of is implying like she won't be back next year. They're like, how can we go on? None of us talk to her. We don't trust her, as if she won't be back. I'm like, do I need to give you all the list of disgusting lies that housewives have said and we've all forgotten them and forgiven them? Like, it's crazy. I mean, if Bronwyn, to me, is going to lie, whether by omission or not, just say it outright. I want to know exactly what happened between you and the jeweler. You were the one that decided to invite this jeweler to come on the show. You claimed you wanted to help her out. If you're not going to be honest about the jewelry and what you bought, what you didn't buy, did you return it? Did you have something custom made? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you get a discount? Like, if you're not going to be honest about it when Lisa's bringing all of this up, then if that's the case, she needs to be fired. She does not come back. If everyone's so anti-housewives being liars, because there's a lot of them that are liars. So many. Michael Riley says she's mad that everyone said she's a bad mother. Let her kid just play the video games at all hours of the day and night. The thing is, the way production did that, though, they had just made it seem, is her son like 8 or 12 now? I feel like Henry was 8 when it started. Now he's around 12. Production was making it seem like that's all he did. And like she was just walking by and not hanging out with him. And he's just playing video games all day. So when Angie said that, like, look, I'm a very hands-on mom. If my daughter needs me and I'm on the phone with you, I'm going to get off the phone. Like, instead, you have one kid right now because, your older one's at a mission and you're going to ignore him and just let him rot on the video games all the time, which I would venture to say, I mean, I see babies now with an iPad in front of their car seat, entertaining them, babysitting them. We all know that every kid in the world has a phone by 8 or 9, 10, 12 years old. I mean, let's be clear. So if video games, like, that's her own personal thing. But I feel like Lisa has put Angie down also, implying that she lies to go take care of her daughter to get off the phone. She probably just wants to get off the phone with Lisa because she didn't want to talk to her anymore. I don't know. Oh, wait, what? Nick James is bringing the D into it. He said, let's face it, I think Bronwyn's dick is bigger. Just saying. Whoa. I mean, financially, like, who has more money? Lisa or Bronwyn? I don't know. Yeah. Very true. Very true. But it's about lying. So Lucy said Bronwyn and Bryn's issues are so different. It's not comparable. It's boiling down that people are mad at Bryn for lying over and over again. So that's what it boils down to. My issue is that Uba accused her of, sexing it up with people to get a job. And that's horrific of her to say. And she should have never said that. So anyways, I thought Aaron did a Rolling Stone interview. Did Bryn do one also? I thought it was Aaron, Nurse M. I don't really know. I need to read. Can somebody highlight it and send it to me? Only highlight the really good stuff to ring. Oh my gosh, Mama Judy hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, what else? The miscarriage thing to me, like, to me, it's very different about the miscarriage. We obviously don't know all the facts about it. She clearly didn't have a miscarriage because her daughter Gwen is here. If the grandparents thought she had a miscarriage and never or said they thought that she had a miscarriage and so didn't know that the baby was there, if Bronwyn says, I've always wanted my daughter to have a relationship with her grandparents, the proof isn't in the pudding. You haven't done shit that you've said to facilitate a relationship. Why is your daughter 18 or 19 years old? And now you're saying, and then she still hasn't reached out to them. She's given the information. And now, it very much seemed like Bronwyn has very strong feelings against the fathers, the babies, Gwen's father's parents. Like, I don't feel, for her to say, oh, I always wanted them to have a relationship. Then what did you do to make sure they had a relationship? I don't know. The Mormon stuff allegedly maybe says, I think that's where it's Mormon heavy. Don't get me wrong. When Bronwyn was like really talking to us about the shame of being pregnant at a Mormon university, like not being married. I mean, yeah, that was deep. That was like a lot. She's really gotten over a lot of that. But at the end of the day, if she's going to say, I wanted my daughter to have a relationship with her grandparents and she did nothing about that, then I don't know. Yeah, a lot of shame in that religion for sure. Oh, okay. Nurse M says, Bryn did the article. Aaron reacted to what she said. Okay, that makes sense. If anyone wants to give me the highlights, let me know. It kind of ends there. I think there's going to be part 3, right? There's going to be 2 more parts of this. I don't know. I just feel like it boils down to me. If these people don't want every part of their life nitpicked, they are talking about this stuff. Like, on or off the camera, they're not real friends. They know, in my opinion, they've sold themselves out for the money and or the fame. And then they don't want what goes along with that. So it's not like people are digging up secrets that they said, should have never been found or what have you. This is stuff that they're talking about. She's got her daughter on the show. Showing her, talking about that she was, a single mom. Allegedly maybe says, yeah, but they don't talk about those things. She was like 19. They were adults. They knew how that story goes, in my opinion. Yeah. And don't get me started on women getting the blame for a pregnancy out of wedlock or a pregnancy, an unplanned pregnancy. Men their son had a say in that too. Like, his wiener didn't just accidentally slip into her vagina and spuge come all over and all of a sudden they had a baby. Like, give me a break. Oh my gosh. Michelle says the grandmother was rude. She didn't want to admit her son had a baby out of wedlock because she's Mormon. But yet this woman, this young Bronwyn is left with the baby. I mean, she yeah, I know. I think she did get kicked out of BYU, Mama Judy says. And I kind of wonder if any of the rules have changed, just being 2025 versus, 19 years ago. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to share the thing again. If you want to come on with a question or comment, consider this our Zoom that y'all keep wanting to talk about having, because we can just come on. Not everybody. I need to figure out how to do the Zoom with everybody, right? If y'all want to do that. Okay. I did get to listen to both hours. I listened to the first hour before and Juliet musical, and then I listened to the last hour afterwards. I mean, I didn't write a lot of notes down. I don't know. From the second hour, I should say. Reza and Zach Noe Towers. I thought it was weird. He didn't say why. But they'll be back next week. But Polo and Patrick are almost on every single Friday for years. unless they're traveling on vacation, and they're back right now, but they weren't on today. And I'm like, are they getting a medical procedure? I don't know. So they'll be back on next time for sure. Nick James says, let's be honest, 18 years ago, I would have been 26. It's really not that long ago if you think about it. But I feel like it's a long time in the way, the more, I wonder if people still get kicked out for being pregnant at BYU. Like, I wonder if that rule has changed, because I do feel like 18, 19 years is a long time, and they might not have that rule anymore. I don't know. Yeah, it's not like it was the 70s or 80s. I know, but the Mormon shame and the rules and it's deep. I mean, the soaking, you know what I mean? Oh, Diane says, ooh, I hate that Christina Hawk is coming back next week. Why? Well, it's to promote the show that she did with Jeff, because Jeff's one of the judges on it, January 29th. So that's the day that the show premieres on HGTV. Wiener spooge. Noted. We still had iPhones then? We had iPhones? When did iPhones come out? I don't even know. My husband had the very first iPhone 1. It was so tiny. I had a, oh gosh, what was it? Kind of like the BlackBerry. Like, I wanted the bigger screen. I had the whole keypad to type on. Anyways, I don't remember when iPads came out. I'm trying to remember. Oh, goodness. Okay. In the Mormon religion, they live in the 60s. I sort of wonder how all of these documentaries, the Mormon TikTok, that's come out, the Sold on Salt Lake City, or Housewives of Salt Lake City. I sort of wonder how that has affected churches in the Mormon religion, if they've had to talk about some of those things. I don't know. Ooh, good question. Mama Judy says, do you think Elizabeth Vargas will be back? I don't think so. I don't know. Do I think she'll become a regular? No, I think she was a little too sporadic, a little too chaotic. I don't think that Jeff liked that there was such drama between her and Kelly Dodd. So I don't think she would want to come on and know that Kelly Dodd might call back a couple of times again. But then again, Jeff's in control of taking that phone call or not. So I don't know. What bathroom remodel commercial was there? What are you talking about? There was a commercial? Diane says, bathroom remodel commercial. It's awful. With Christina Hawk, maybe? I don't know. Yes, Miss Lupo says, oh no, Elizabeth Vargas was a loose cannon. Yeah, I thought she was so good like the first 10 minutes, and then it just went like, it's like her anxiety, her nervousness, something kicked in or something kicked, I don't know, whatever it was. Oh, yeah, I bet he does. Michael Riley says, Jeff told me that he wants Christina Hawk to become a regular chump. Yeah, I can see that he wants that. I think he's also trying to pull in, it's true. It's true with even my stuff. People will tell me, oh, even say, sit higher, sit lower. Your lighting's bad. Your lighting's great. No matter what you do, people are always going to want you to change it. So you do something to change it, and then it pisses off 10 more people. So the thing with Jeff and the guests that he has, he says, look, I'm only going to have people on that I want to have on. If I listen to every fan that DMs me, I'm going to, and I fix that. And I think, okay, I made that person happy. Then I'm pissed off 10 more people. So I think it's kind of a lose-lose when people complain about stuff. I think at the end of the day, once he is, lied to or whatever, once he decides to cut off a chump, then he will. But if he likes a chump and wants them to be on, I think he's going to always let them on. You know what I mean? Bridget said, honestly, I'm kind of glad that there's been a break from Pole and Patrick. Sorry. I think there's definitely a love-hate with Pole and Patrick, especially since they're on every Friday. I've met them in person so many times, and they really are some of the nicest people. I mean, a little bit catty, but I love that. Catty to other people, but they really are nice as far as when it comes to meeting fans and being very nice to them. So they definitely make fans feel very welcome. Anyone that has done I mean, you may not always get, your coffee cup on time. Where's my Poland Patrick coffee cup? Right there. Or the Armenian coffee cups. They might have to rearrange your schedule, but other than that, they're very nice for sure. I know. Deja, we're just going to open up to questions. I will recap the show in a second. Deja Monet says, what happened to the scheduler he was supposed to get with the new contract? So he very much said he was either going to ask in the renegotiations for somebody to get, did he call it a scheduler or like, kind of like a producer that gets guests on, like gets the big people, gets people he hasn't had on before. I don't know. I definitely don't think he got that with the with this thing. That's why he said he was going to hire his own producer. I think his own producer is Kian. I think Kian is doing the games and the questions. I also don't like today. There was a question on a game on the first hour. There was a game on the second hour. Like there was a game yesterday. Was it Joey Zalza yesterday? The 6th grade or earlier. I mean, it's like, I don't know that I need a game every day. And if he's paying Kian to produce a game every day, like how much money is he getting? A booker. That's what he called it. Thank you. They call him a booker, somebody that books people. And even in part of this podcast course that I'm watching from the Sarah Fraser show, part of it is talking about getting guests and how these big podcasters, they will pay a guest to come on because at some point it's worth it to pay someone to come on if they're going to get you a new audience or get you ratings, whatever. So a lot of people won't come on a podcast until they're paid, like the Hot Tua girl. I'm sure instantly she was like, wait a minute, everyone's asking me to be on their podcast. I'm going to get paid for that. You know what I mean? I do think Jeff loves the games. I do think he loves the games. I don't know, whatever. I really don't. Hannah says, do you ever throw out suggestions to Jeff for potential guests? I don't. I really have just never inserted myself like that as a fan account. If he ever asked my opinion, I would definitely give it. When we were at the $10,000 dinner, that's one of the things he said. He was like, look, you come to a lot of the shows already. I want to pick your brain about, this upcoming Chumpmas. So that's when he said, you have my number, right? Just text me. And I'm like, I don't have your cell phone number. And then he told Shane to give it to me. So I did on the airplane ride home from that New York trip. I thought of some ideas for the show to make it a little bit different because I have been to, I don't know how many shows I've been to now. Let's think. Burbank was the first show, live show, November 2021. I don't know. I think the next show wasn't Chumpmas. The next one, I think. He went a long time without having another show. But I might be forgetting. I think I've been to an Irvine show. I've been to a Hollywood show. I've been to was it Phoenix? Yeah, I went to a Phoenix show. I'm forgetting them all. But anyways, I've been to a few shows. They are a lot of the same people. I think that's a habit of these are the people that are your biggest, not your biggest fans. Let me don't say it that way because it has no idea if you're their biggest fan. These are the people that make it a priority or have the funds and the time and the opportunity to travel to see your shows. So a lot of the same people go to his shows and he realizes that. My only thing is they do kind of need to be changed up a little bit. That's why it was probably a good idea for him to change up the chumps. This at the last one because at Chumpmas because the same people are going to these things, so you know what I mean. So oh yes, DM him. And so Hannah says she's got a few guests. He says he's always open to that. Just he's made it clear a few times he doesn't want, if you don't like a guest, don't tag them and say in the coffee picture, who's he been rude to, or people have been Jodie Sweetin, Jodie Sweetin, you're so boring, and tag her, because then that's just, they're constantly getting tags. And then Jeff's like, all they're going to do is think that my listeners are assholes, and they're not. Just DM him and Shane and be like, hey, I think, Jodie Sweetin is a good host with this co-host, or I think this actor would be great, or I think this podcaster would be great, this comedian would be great. Basically, anyone that is in the West Hollywood area and can somewhat be a regular, 1 to 3 times a week, 1 to 3 times a month. And I'm saying this out of my own. I'm just making all this up. I have no idea what Jeff's, I don't speak for him at all. Basing it on history of what he does, it seems like he wants someone in the Hollywood area that can come on and become a regular. I think he likes the same people. He likes us to know that Carney cooks. We like to know that she has a Hello Kitty pajama costume with a hole in it. We know that she's going through a kitchen remodel. I mean, it's like we know things about people. We don't want them to be people that just come on and go off and we don't know about them. That's for other podcasters. You know what I mean? So, Nick James is going to go watch Drag Race. Christine Cavallari. I think Kristen would be great on the show. She wouldn't do it that often. Does she live in LA though? I know she's trying to sell, I think, a house in Tennessee, right? Or were they talking about Christina Hawk? Now I'm getting Christina Hawk and Kristen Cavallari mixed up for some reason. I think that's too much work for Jeff. It's a lot of work to be a host of Watch What Happens Live because you got to know the shows. I think it works. Oh, let me read this. Deja Mano says, maybe Jeff is vying for the Watch What Happens Live host spot once Andy steps away. First of all, they're almost identical in age. I think Andy's 1 year older. They're both single dads. I don't think they both love working. They love the spotlight. They love what they're doing. I don't think there's anything about either one of them that Andy would step away before Jeff would be able to step in. Like, I don't think Andy's going anywhere. You know what I mean? She lives in Nashville, but she has a house in California. Okay. I was thinking she did. Anyways. Okay. Today on Jeff Lewis Live was Judge Lauren Lake, Reza Farahan. I love Judge Lauren Lake and Zach Noe Towers together. I think they're really good. I also think Reza is one of those evergreens that he's like a Doug. He can kind of be on with anyone. Gosh, I hear a car like driving fast, like inside my house. I hear it. Like, dude, it's only 7:00 Friday night. Anyways, she just leased a home right before the fires in LA. She just happened to have her Range Rover die out on her. So literally, as everyone is calling her dealership because their cars were on fire or lost in the wildfires, she happened to buy that new car. So she got really lucky with all that. Talked a lot about her moving and parenting and organizing and getting rid of stuff and emotional stuff and what she keeps, whatever's. I mean, Reza's like, I get rid of everything. Like, Reza has I think that's Jeff. Jeff, if you've seen on Flipping Out, he has moved, 12 different times. He's moved, no, maybe more than that. Geez, Jeff Lewis has moved a lot. He has a thing for it. Like, I don't think he's keeping stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure. I would love to ask, like, does he have the baby outfit that Monroe came home from the hospital in? Like, I don't think he keeps much. Like, I think he's just not emotional in that aspect with things. You know what I mean? Jeff very much talking about the people not wanting to return to work. I wonder how this is going forward. I know I have my 2 oldest that are going to graduate college this year, one with her master's, one's with graduating 3 years, graduating a year early. So they both happen to be graduating the same year, but one with her master's, so a year later, and one a year earlier. But so they're talking jobs and what their requirements are at their jobs. And one of them, they only have to go in the office 2 days a week once she gets this job. So I definitely thought things had changed, but SiriusXM is now trying to get people to go back into the office. Jeff is basically like, look, if you've got layoffs going on, I am not going to be like, oh, never mind, I'm not coming to the office. No, I'm going to do whatever it takes for sure. So I thought that was interesting. But that's Jeff's. Jeff's 54, 50. Yeah, 50. No, he'll be 50. Yeah, he'll be 55. He'll be double nickels this year. No. Yes. Oh my God. Is he 54? Yes, I'm 51. He's 54. He will be double nickels March 24th. Wow. Um, allegedly, maybe says Jeff would be good with just his people and his dog. Oh yeah, stuff I don't think means a thing. I thought you, yeah, stuff I don't think means a thing at all. Yeah, he will be 55. That's so weird. He seems okay. No, let me not say this in the wrong way, but I think Doug turned double nickels last year. So I guess he turned 56 this January. He just seems so much older and more mature than Jeff in a lot of ways. Isn't that weird? Um, anyways, Jeff kind of accidentally called Ty his boyfriend, but then he's like, no, we're just dating. But I think they're getting pretty serious. I think if they lived in the same, I think this is going pretty well. Like, we don't hear him talking about being on the apps anymore. We don't hear him talking about going places to meet people. He's not seeming to be dating anyone else. So I don't know if this other guy's exclusive or if Jeff wants him to be exclusive. We don't know that Jeff is exclusive. He's just not saying one way or another. Anyways, they did talk about the teacher did remove the nuts, so that was a good thing. Oh, allegedly, maybe that's a hot take. Jeff's immaturity is on purpose. LOL. Like for the show? That's an interesting take. Oh, to make himself seem younger, it works. Huh. Yeah. Oh, Nurse M says, my 2 sons take the bus into Manhattan, 3 days in the office, 2 out of the office. I mean, that's nice. Also, I mean, I also these companies, because one of my daughters, they have to, what do you call it? Like apply for an office that day. Like they have to say, I'm going to work in it. Like not everyone has their own office anymore. Like some people might come in on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Some people might come on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so they're not all having the same office. They're kind of sharing office space. Right. So yeah, Deja Monet says, I love working from home. I mean, you see how many people call into Jeff's show when they're working. Give me a break. Work is part of, like, you have to have some fun. So I don't think it's a bad thing for someone to call into work when they're at the thing. Oh, Rick is 65 today. Happy 60. I guess he gets Medicare now. Is that what you get at 65? I don't know what you get. Topper, it can be difficult to find because the channel has to change its name. So, the copyright things on YouTube of the Jeff Lewis live videos. Yeah, I don't know who puts that up. I've said all along, when the video first came out, those videos, well, it was 1 hour at the time. That video was up on YouTube before it was even up on the SiriusXM app. So I'm like, that is somebody in the know. Somebody's got access to that. How is SiriusXM not realizing that and then cutting that out? Because why would they don't want their content out there for free. They could put it up on YouTube for free if they wanted. That's why they put up clips at their own whatever to get people to go and do the buy the SiriusXM app. The thing is, some people around the country or around the world, are not able to buy the app. Like it's not even available to them, so they can't even do it, right? Social Security. How much? I mean, does anyone get a lot of money from Social Security? Why do I always hear that's like, I don't even know how much I'll get. I have no idea. Mama Judy says Medicare and Social Security, they're awesome. So Rick will get all of that. Woo, woo. But it's been forever. And whoever puts them up, because y'all tell me all the time, you'll be like, y'all would think that I put them up. I'm like, honey, when I used to not know I didn't have this software. I used to take my podcast, my Instagram live. I would record it at the same time on an iPad that I purchased for this podcast. Then I would upload that 1 hour podcast to YouTube. It would take 18 hours sometimes. It was so slow. I do not know how this person uploads that video now, especially now that it's 2 hours. It's crazy. LTD says it infuriates me when people think working from home reduces productivity. That's poor management, in my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I mean, when I worked in an office right after college, for 7.5 years, I loved leaving my office and going to talk to the amazing front office receptionist. I loved going and talking to this one secretary. I mean, I loved taking time off and going to chat with people. That was kind of part of being in the office, right? So, if anything, I think people are a lot more productive at home because they have nobody interrupting them. You know what I mean? Um, it was years before they caught on. But now the video's only been out for a couple of years, right? So, anyways, oh, is Miss Lupa going to sleep? You're going to sleep? It's 8:11. Oh, good. You're gotta go, but you're not going to sleep in LA or in New York. Anyways. Well, we are going to wrap it up. If you are a Instagram subscriber, don't forget we do an Ask Me Anything every Saturday night. Is it 7 p.m. Eastern? I feel like it is. Every Sunday night. So we will do it this Sunday. It is $4.99 a month. And I put up other content, what have you. When is it? Have I scheduled it yet? Is it normally 7 o'clock Eastern? I think it is. Yes. 7 o'clock Eastern this Sunday. Ask Me Any. And it also goes up as a replay. And so do all the past ones being done. So anyways, yes, LTD says being in the office is a lot of walking and talking. I mean, I love the social parts of that, right? For sure. Anyways, okay, well, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me live. I know it's at a different time. Please make sure to hit the thumbs up. If you're listening as a podcast, make sure to scroll down and give me a 5-star rating and review. I would really appreciate it. And for the Instagram subscribers, I will see you Sunday night. If not, I will see you Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Think we'll be back to our regular time. Don't think I have any more snow days or changes in the theater schedule. Yes, I should be back on the normal time. Why did I put, anyways. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.